The impeachment trial of U.S. President Donald Trump marched ahead today with the second of 3 days for the Democrats' opening arguments. The House impeachment managers, aka the prosecutors, zeroed in on the first article of impeachment, which charges the president with abusing his power by withholding military aid from Ukraine in exchange for an investigation into his political rivals. Senators, who will soon vote on whether Mr. Trump will remain in office, listened, and occasionally snoozed, in mandated silence. Here's a bit of what they saw. 1. Democrats stayed consistent in their strategy. The impeachment managers began their opening arguments yesterday by presenting a comprehensive, uber-detailed chronology of the events that led to the whistleblower's complaint. If you missed day 2, you can catch up here. Today, they took those facts and applied them to the laws. They started by walking through the constitutional standards at hand, delivering the Senate a history lesson on why impeachment doesn't require a criminal violation. Representative Jerry Nadler indulged in a little legal trolling by using clips of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, a staunch impeachment opponent, defining high crimes and misdemeanors during Bill Clinton's 1999 trial, but for the most part, the arguments were not unexpected. External link, at Kyle Griffin 1 tweet, Nadler plays a clip of Lindsey Graham from 1999, I think it's truth. I think that's what they meant by high crimes. Doesn't have to be a crime. It's just when you start using your office and you're acting in a way that hurts people, you committed a high crime. With the legal parameters out of the way, the House managers presented evidence that the president abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate his political rival. At the heart of that argument was a lengthy discussion of the president's motivation. The Democrats claimed that Mr. Trump was never really interested in investigating corruption, but only wanted to undermine 2020 presidential frontrunner Joe Biden. That approach necessitated a lengthy defense of the candidate, and plenty of flack from Republicans for it. More on that below. External link, at ABC Politics tweet, Rep. Sylvia Garcia, Pres. Trump asked for the investigation into Biden based on a made-up theory that no one agreed with. No one. https://abcn.ws/2rnfpm8 External link, at LI Sad News tweet, speaking of Joe Biden, as at Rep. Sylvia Garcia mounts lengthy defense of Joe Biden, going through the Burisma allegations, GOP is listening, but either one. Stone-faced her too, dismissively laughing, literally waving it away. Cotton, Ernst in this group. It also meant debunking, step by step, some of the falsehoods Mr. Trump has repeated to accuse Ukraine, not Russia, of hacking the 2016 presidential election. If this sounds far-fetched and crazy, it is, said Representative Sylvia Garcia at the end of it. There are literally no concrete facts to support these conspiracy theories. Like yesterday, the Democrats made slick use of graphics, news coverage and clips of witness testimony throughout their presentation. And, like yesterday, the Democrats didn't make any points that haven't already been made. They just repackaged them in a linear, fluid format. Point 2. Witnesses are still divisive throughout their arguments. The impeachment managers drew attention to missing documents or witnesses they'd like to question. It might seem counterintuitive given they keep saying there's overwhelming evidence that Mr. Trump did wrong. But the new evidence has emerged as a major talking point, with Republicans repeatedly dismissing the trial because it doesn't show them something new. External link, at a Trooper tweet, Josh Hawley on Tucker Carlson's show last night, they're not even trying to put on evidence. Democrats don't even have any evidence. Hawley has repeatedly voted against gathering new documents and testimony during the external link, at Les Power 1 tweet, Step 1, Dems try repeatedly to get new evidence into the trial. Step 2, Republicans repeatedly voted down. Step 3, Fox criticizes Dems for having no new evidence. Rinse and repeat. Fox's Jason Chaffetz, it had nothing to do with proving the facts, there was no new evidence. Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer told reporters he still had hope that Republicans would change their minds and allow the Senate to call key witnesses like former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Senators voted along party lines on Monday, local time, to table an amendment that would have made that a reality, but a handful of moderate Republicans have said they'd consider voting in favor of witnesses if the Senate brings it up again following questioning. Mr. Schumer denied rumors that a witness trade was in the works, but said the Senate has lots of conversations going. External link, @Real Donald Trump tweet, the Democrats don't want a witness trade because shifty shift, the Bidens, the fake whistleblower. Republicans gave us a sneak peek of their defense. Though Mr. Trump's defense team wasn't allowed to speak in the chamber, they didn't hold back in front of reporters. Mr. Trump's personal lawyer Jay Sekulow said he hadn't heard anything that surprised him. "We're hearing the same things over and over," he said. "I will assure you this, we will be putting on a vigorous defense of the facts and rebutting what they've said. Our job here is to defend the president, the office of the presidency and the Constitution." Mr. Sekulow also suggested the defense would keep things brief, saying he wouldn't try to run the clock out. Republican senators appeared irked by the Democrats' defense of Mr. Biden and called for the defense to focus on his son, Hunter. Senator Ted Cruz said the Democrats essentially threw Joe Biden under the bus. "It means when President Trump's lawyers stand up and present their defense, that they are going to have the opportunity to present the very significant evidence that supported and still supports a serious investigation into corruption at Burisma and ultimately whether Joe Biden participated in that corruption." Mr. Cruz said, "That consequence now, as a result of this decision, Hunter Biden is not only relevant, he is now critical." Mr. Sekulow confirmed the defense team was considering a direct response to the Democrats' Biden claims. Point 4. Senators are still zoning out. Representative Adam Schiff's introduction to the day said it all. His first words were an apology to senators for such long days and dense material. "There is some method in our madness," he added. "We showed you the facts. Now we will show you how those facts are interwoven." But in the end, reporters caught senators doing everything but watching. They were sleeping, snacking, doodling, passing notes, doing crossword puzzles, reading a book, even leaving their seats to do interviews. External link, @Garrett Hockett tweet, some other observations from the last half hour, @Senator Burr has a fidget spinner, @Rand Paul has quite the sketch of the Capitol going, and @Marsha Blackburn is reading a book. External link, @Marsha Blackburn tweet, first, I'm reading Resistance, at All Costs by Kim Strassel. Read the chapter on obstruction. It provides good insights into today's proceedings. Second, busy mamas are the best at multitasking. Try it. External link, @Ebony Bowden tweet, senators hoping for a moment of peace in the cloakroom bathrooms are instead being subjected to large TV screens which are playing the impeachment proceedings, very loud. Send Tim Kaine tells me. Sorry, senators, this thing is far from over. The Democrats plan to close out their opening arguments on Friday, local time, by applying the evidence to Article 2, which covers obstruction of Congress. They'll also explain why they think Mr. Trump is an ongoing threat to democracy. So maybe the senators won't pay attention, but history sure will. Let's block ads. Why?